Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking out this video, and I hope you are having a fantastic day. The WNBA and the money-making machine that it is, let's talk about it. So, apparently, WNBA losing staggering amount of money in 2024, and this is year 27 or 28. I want to say it's 28, but either way, it's been losing money every single year for almost 3 decades. Okay. That's that's insane. And that's what's so weird about this article as we dig in. So, despite the massive rewards that WNBA appears to have reaped in 2024, it appears that the financial windfall might not have been enough to offset some major losses. According to Margaret Fleming of Front Office Sports, the WNBA and its 12 teams were on track to lose $50 million. It says, though not entirely through mismanagement. Well, yeah, I mean, they haven't had enough fans and all that, but here's where it gets weird. Per the report, the WNBA's relationship with the NBA is proving to be a drain, as the NBA takes around 40% of the WNBA's revenue, while outside investors receive an extra 20%. Players wind up with under 10% of the total revenue. Um, okay, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, the NBA is what do they own, 40 or 50%? I think I saw in this article later down here it was 50, but I thought they owned 40. But either way, they own 40 or 50% of the league. They are paying out and have paid out every single year of the WNBA's existence to make up for the losses. Okay. So to say that the NBA is proving to be a drain because it takes 40%, well, it owns 40%, and it doesn't really take that because it puts money into the WNBA every single year. The WNBA owes the NBA hundreds of millions of dollars. The writer of this article doesn't understand basic finance. And it's just like they're trying to spin it in a negative way for the NBA and a positive way for the WNBA. But here it goes. So this is a long quote. I'm not going to read it all, but basically the WNBA is sticking with the NBA for negotiations on their streaming, and the commissioner is right in this part in doing that because she says if we're only there for 4.5 months, how attractive is that? But we in the NBA are maybe the only sports properties that can give 330 days of live programming almost the entire year. That's hugely valuable to a subscription platform. And that's true. She has a good point there. That's a good idea by them. I think all of you who have streaming services, all the streaming services are finding out it's not an easy thing because you have to constantly give the people new content because you're charging them every single month. So you got to crank out good content for them. So I'm going to give Kathy Engelbert that. That's pretty smart. She's right. Who's going to get up? Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know what the problem is there, but and here's where we get back to the part that's really boggling my mind. But while the WNBA is sustained by the NBA, it's also in some ways drained by it. The NBA receives about 40% of WNBA revenue, and outside investors, the WNBA raised 75 million from Nike, NBA owners, the NBA itself, and others in 2022, get roughly 20%, leaving the teams and players of the WNBA with about 40% of its own revenue, the Post reported. And unlike the NBA, in which players evenly split revenue with team owners, after the league office takes its portion, players in the WNBA see less than 10% of total revenue. All right. Okay. First of all, when you have investors and they put money into your business, they're doing that because they are investing. So they're taking a risk to get that money back and more. The NBA is not draining the WNBA. The NBA is keeping the WNBA in business by throwing money away into a black hole every single year. And it is absurd. And no one with any fundamental grasp of any of this would talk about compare the NBA, in which revenue is split with team owners after the league office takes its portion in players. The WNBA players see less than 10%. The WNBA, well, again, they don't make any profit. So we could say just you got to have to fire all the players. They're the employees, right? The company's losing money. You got to lay them off. But let's say, well, it's a sports league. We don't do that. But you can't give players the same percent of revenue when the league's losing money and the revenue's, 60, 80. I heard this past year it'd be like more like 150 million, something like that. So let's say it's 100 million. You can't give players the same percentage of 100 million that you do of 10 billion. Okay? There are fixed operating costs involved. It's just ridiculous to even bring that up. Oh yeah, yeah, these people. So they're saying clearly the relationships that the WNBA have built through the years are proving to be a double-edged sword. While they never would have made it this far in their lifespan without those investors to keep them afloat, the Faustian bargain dug into his thesaurus there. Maybe that was Grammarly. Could keep them from reaping the financial rewards for years to come. What financial rewards? They're losing money despite the investors putting that money in. The WNBA is losing money. No, they wouldn't have made this far. They would have folded a couple years into their existence. What part aren't you understanding? But the bigger picture, again, though, is the WNBA once again is losing money. They're losing a ton of money. And once again, the NBA will write a check to keep the WNBA afloat. So, does the WNBA have any incentive to make any positive changes to their league to bring in and keep new fans? No. So, is anything going to change? No. Oh, man. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the state of the WNBA and the money and how little sense this article makes. Uh, if you're enjoying the videos, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. And I will talk to you later.